Okay. So, I'm William, and you're Jim Mattox.
Right.
And why don't we start by telling me a little bit about yourself, including what branch of the service you were in, and when you served, and if you were here stateside in the U.S. or if you were overseas.
Okay. First off, I'm from Virginia,
Okay.
and when the war was on, I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically told you'll never get into service because of your eyesight.
Mm-hmm.
So I was drafted. The woman in the draft board, head of it, says you'll never pass. I went, I had my physical, and I was sworn in to the Army. And from being drafted, I went to Fort Meade, Maryland. They said, we have a need for you here, so we're not going to send you to boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And my job was to be a guide for the returning servicemen from Europe
Mm-hmm.
to get discharged.
Mm-hmm.
So I served a real good big duty there
Mm-hmm.
and getting the guys around. I stayed there for 9 months. And during this period of time, due to them needing non-commissioned officers within the ranks, I got my 3 stripes in 9 months' time.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said it's time for you to go have basic training.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Fort McClellan, got my basic training down there. My orders were to go to Korea. When I got to California, they said, whoop, you got too much time in service. We'd send you over there, we'd have to turn around and send you right back. So we're not going to send you overseas.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was sent to Fort Mason, California, which is within the city limits of San Francisco. And my job was to load troop ships.
Mm-hmm.
And was discharged from Camp Stoneman. And that's it. So I never got overseas, but I did get to the West Coast.
What was the most exciting or most interesting thing that that happened while you were in the service?
Getting back home on weekend for Fort Meade.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really exciting happened other than flew back after I was discharged. I flew back from West Coast coming home. I was on a plane with 2 of the Andrews sisters.
Oh.
And the plane we were on, the engine caught on fire.
Oh, gee.
One of them had 4 engines, and one of them caught on fire. And we had to make a stopover in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I spent the night with the 2 Andrews sisters in the dining room at the
Mm-hmm.
airport. Otherwise, my time was uneventful, other than the fact that my commanding officer in Fort Mason was a graduate of Virginia Military Academy, which was 30 miles from home.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a common denominator there. In fact, notice came over loudspeaker if you want to go to the California St. Mary's football game to call him. And I called him and asked him when he's going. He told me we're leaving now. Changed my uniform. And on the way over to the game, he says, where are your seats? I said, I don't have tickets. He says, this is a cellar game and has been for 6 months. I ended up buying tickets at the gate. Had much better seats than he got from his daughter. Otherwise, nothing too much was exciting.
Okay.
Of course, when I went to boot camp, our company was made up of guys who had gone to Fort Meade.
Mhm.
So we'd all been in service maybe 6 months before we went down there. And of course, the drill sergeant, wait till I get a hold of you. And of our company, no one fell out of line the entire time.
Oh, that's great.
Except we had one guy, he joined us from the hospital. Otherwise, we were in pretty good shape.
Okay.